Evening, this is the planning board of July 16th, 2024. What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we accept the meeting minutes from our meeting of June 18th.
I'll second that.
The moved and seconded, we accept the meeting, minutes of the meeting of June 18th. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
3 in favor, 1 abstention.
The 81P needs to be
81P,
continued
yeah.
again because the client hadn't gotten the materials back to the engineer.
We still haven't got that?
So it's still, continue to the next time.
Okay,
Well, for my part, anyway.
and it's 7:02, so we've got a letter here from the attorney of the client for East Main Street for the public hearing to ask for a continuance, and it's going to be continued till August 6th, 2024 at 7 p.m. We don't need a vote.
Nope.
Okay, so that's going to be continued.
I'll speak to him.
Are you coming for Route 16?
No, planning board?
Yes.
I'm Brent Holberger from the finance committee.
Oh, okay, you're up
Oh,
there.
very good.
You're up here then.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go through with the ad hoc, continue with the ad hoc committee meeting. Martha, I know you're in a rush and seeing,
Not a member of the ad
Not
hoc
a member of the
committee.
committee if you,
If that's all right with
Yes.
the board. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'd put together the text that the consultant had sent us, one of the prior packets of not only examples from our own original comprehensive plan, but from Bellingham, Hopkinton, Hopedale, Medway, and Upton, and Woodburn, so that you could see different forms and styles for comparisons purposes. Actually, probably the most helpful sheet in that stuff is the last page of that packet, which is what they were looking for from you in terms of feedback, and wondering what the preferences were, and, especially compared to your original 2003 plan. MAPC, as you remember, they were involved in producing the 2003 plan along with UMass Amherst Planning Department. So, I think it should be to their credit that, I think at least, that the 2003 Comprehensive Plan Vision Statement is still better than those other examples they sent for comparison. So that would be my recommendation, but I think it might be helpful if you at least, either comment individually, or you could take as like a straw poll or something, so we could forward something to the consultant and not, in effect, waste this whole month by not giving them a clue as to what you all feel would be an appropriate example.
Any other members of the committee got a...
No, I mean, I read through it too. I sort of agree with Larry. I don't know that any of the others, in terms of setup, are any better than what we have, and in terms of the actual wording and stuff, I think, with some minor modifications to the existing one, that our vision and certainly the purpose of the plan is the same, probably is the same as it was 20 years ago, and our vision is very similar, so that with minor changes, I think it still is probably the closest that I would expect to what we would end up in the final plan.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I agree with that as well. Like I said, we have the same organization that did it in 2003. They did a darn good job on that. And like Joe just said, except for some minor changes, things should be progressing as they're doing it now. They're doing a heck of a job, interviewing various departments, various agencies in town, organizations, to get a feel of where we are 21 years ago. 21 years later. Also, too, when you look at, your Bellinghams and Hopkintons, Hopedales, Medways, Uptons, different type of culture as well, than what we have today in Milford, not only with population-wise, but with diversity-wise as well. So I think that, continue what they're doing now and see what happens.
I guess I will agree. I guess my only comment would be, not being an expertise as the rest of you in this matter, is there anything we would take from any of the other towns, number one? And number two, the plan we did was, 21 years ago, roughly? So we are here 21 years later. Are there things we should be updating? That would be different things that from 21 years ago that maybe we should. Again, I understand new growth, I understand commercial, I understand all of that. That'd be my question to this group and maybe to the consultant itself.
This is not to,
This is just a vision.
just to take.
No, I understand
take this.
that.
There is some change, there's
Gotta
definitely
be
some changes.
revisions, yeah.
Yes.
Again, as Paul brought up, the diversity, I think we had more diversity than the rest of them 21 years ago, and now we got more, even more. So
No question, yeah.
that's something that's going to have to be changed and
Okay.
talked about. But I think we got a good start here. I'm reading through the other ones. They just weren't, I don't think they were settled for Milford.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just want to make sure that we realize that we're 21 years
definitely-
later, that's all.
We definitely know that there's going to, definitely have to be some changes, absolutely. Yes.
So I'm reading this quickly.
Yes.
So my first time through this, and I think what we're doing is contrasting our original document with some of the other ones
Yes.
in here. One of the things that strikes me about, so obviously first I should start and say, just skimming through ours, our old one, it obviously has a lot of merit in just sort of the design and look and feel. One of the things I think is neat about the other ones when you flip through them is they've gone through the exercise of trying to be crisp and on one page. And I've found in other things in life that trying to have very crisp goals that you can fit on one page is actually much, much harder than it appears. And it is a bit of a forcing function of like trying to be very clear about what it is you want to achieve. But some of those one-page views do have some attraction to me because you have a very crisp position of what you're trying to accomplish. So I'm not saying that we have to have a one-page view, but that is, I think, a useful nugget would be my first just sort of observation looking at these, that, a lot of their towns do have like a simple one-page view is very just, they've gone through the diligence of trying to say, hey, these might not be the right objectives for us, but the discipline of being very crisp about what you want, what your vision is, I think has utility. It's just my first feedback.
So I tend to agree as well. I think this is a good baseline, good bones. It has all the ingredients I think we need. I agree that there's some changes. I would point out, paragraphs 3, 4, and 5 without getting into details. But I like it better than the others. I think ours is a little bit more robust, and I think it would be a good starting point.
Bring up Brent.
Yes, Brant, yeah.
Again, maybe this could be condensed a little bit with the changes we've had in 21 years also, so.
Sure.
Because there's definitely some parts of Milford that are built out and drawn out, so.
Oh, for sure, the content should certainly be updated, yeah. Makes a ton of sense.
To be honest, the only thing I really saw immediately in terms of where we're going, where we've been, there was, I remember in this plan, and certainly as part of the document itself, there was a large section that we dealt with in terms of open space. I think we're to the point now where I don't know that in terms of us going forward, it needs to be mentioned or not. There isn't really that much open space the town has access to, and we've changed the open space criteria based on the last plan so that it's not, quote, an issue per se. So I don't know that it needs to be highlighted as part of the vision statement.
Well, and to put it more in context, we own 1,200 acres. That's under Concom jurisdiction.
Right.
So to the extent that it's still an important topic, the way it comes up is exactly the opposite
Right.
now.
Yep.
So if it's mentioned at all, it would be in that context, not in terms of, oh my God, you got to figure out how to protect that.
And to me, the vision statement is more of, we're here now, where do we need to go? Certainly, that needs to be put in there as part of the town, has been, in the other sections, when we talk about open space as part of the actual document, we should be talking about the percentage of the town that is under Concom jurisdiction as part of that document. But in here, it's really not a vision anymore. We're not trying to change any of that. We're living with what we have.
Yeah, I think they would clearly need to change the context, but
Yep.
What I had expressed to them, aside from the actual content, which clearly needs to be adjusted after 20-some years, the form and the format seemed to lend itself to the flow of the plan, and I think that helps compared to some of these other plans as well, that to the extent that it can be short and crisp and, punchy or whatever to get the point across, all the gory details get fleshed out in the various elements of the plan itself. So, again, I think you're on the right track. It's
I think the second to last paragraph where we talk about, prioritizing, and it really goes into that open space, I think we need to find what that priority is now, because it certainly isn't that. It's something else. I mean, I know what it is to me, but I'm not sure that anybody, that's the general gist of it. But to me, the redevelopment now gets into, if we don't find ways to prioritize higher and better usage, we're going to become tax strapped pretty soon. We're going to be at the 2.5 limit, because we're not going to be getting in new dollars, because there is nothing to go from to totally develop. Everything's going to be redevelopment. So to me, that may be over the next 20 years the main thing, not open space. But that, again, that's me. But I think we certainly need to change the focus in that paragraph.
all right, well, hopefully, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things I was hoping for was that if we could relay this information to them, and I'll tell them tomorrow, that'll give them kind of a head start for what they will prepare and bring back next month. Because I'd much rather have them have this information and get on it and have a product, instead of coming next month and asking the question that you just answered. So, yeah, this keeps us moving. And so,
When you say a product, Larry, what do you anticipate they would have? Now, what are we going to be asking them to bring
well,
us next month when they're
proposing-
here in front of us?
They were proposing to have the draft vision statement, and I'd have to look and see, I didn't bring it with me, what the next element of the plan was.
Okay.
So now we should see the vision statement substantially complete compared to what it would have been had we not been able to do this tonight.
Okay.
So,
You're going to relay all the information that was, or the comments that were brought tonight
yeah.
to them. Again, now, it's something, they're going to give a draft, and we're going to get to look it over and make additions, subtraction.
Tweaks or whatever
we feel it's,
And we should be able
That's
to,
right.
again, get it before the meeting, so I can, send out the PDF so everybody can get a look at it before we actually show up here again. So, yeah, this helps.
well, Larry had asked, that's why Larry had asked to have the meeting, and it's not wait, and I thought it was a great idea. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they'll be here next time on the 13th. We have a regular planning board meeting on the 6th, but the ad hoc committee is meeting on the 13th still, because that's when they were going to be available anyway. So we'll be able to see something and move forward.
And if we have any other comments we think of, we can let Larry know.
Yeah.
He'll relay them to the people.
Thanks for showing up.
Any other question, Grant, being a new member of the board, you got any questions or
No, I just wanted to say, appreciate the hospitality and the seat at the table. I was running in a little late and didn't expect to sit up front here, but I appreciate it, and
that's-
happy to be here.
Part of the group now, so.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As long as Rick behaves himself, sitting up there, it is.
Does anybody else have any?
No problems with Brand, no problems at all.
So make a motion, close on public hearing?
No, during the meeting,
Public meeting, yeah, whatever we're at.
whatever it is.
Second
I just lost it.
Moved and seconded, we close the meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous of 6. 7.
We didn't close ours either, so it's actually closing the planning board hearing as well as the ad hoc committee.
Close everything.
Yeah, you're on this committee too, right?